All right, welcome back to HM and Biggie Review Things. We are with our permanent panelist, Rob, with us today, as usual. And today we're doing another segment of Convince Me. Today we're going to do Convince Me Marvel's Phase 4. So on one side is a man who staunchly believes that this is still watching. On the other side is a man that staunchly believes that this might not be worth watching anymore. Tell us, what is Phase 4?
Phase 4 is the beginning of the multiverse saga in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Marvel Studios puts out lots of films, and now they're starting to put out TV stuff, and they're kind of grouping it in different phases, maybe setting kind of different tones and different kind of themes, maybe overarching, but it's in service of a greater arc. And so we had Phase 1, 2, and 3, which was the Infinity Saga. All the movies kind of were starting and developing. In the beginning, they didn't really know, but developing towards Thanos and the Infinity Stones. And so this one with the Multiverse Saga, we're in Phase 4, we're supposed to be beginning to see the seeds of the multiverse, and Kang the Conqueror seems to be the main big villain. And so Phase 4 is movies beginning from Black Widow and ending with the upcoming Wakanda Forever.
Yes.
And then including all the Disney Plus shows that have come out since the beginning, starting with WandaVision, I think was the first one.
Yep. Yes, which I heard it was actually supposed to be Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I know the order did get a little mixed up.
Pandemic,
yeah, you got mixed up. And then ending the latest TV show. Oh, no, actually, the latest TV show that's going to be coming out, that's part of it, is the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. So you can see holiday special. Excuse me, holiday special. But they are. You can see that one of the main problems that I'm assuming you'll bring up, maybe, is that there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you first watched Iron Man in 2008, Marvel was just sort of this. Nobody even knew what was happening. They built it up so well; it was almost like this juggernaut, and it ended off with Phase 3's Endgame. And you know, the pandemic hit. It was almost like the perfect time to take a nice break.
Yeah.
Obviously, during the pandemic, Disney, Marvel decided, no, we got to keep the train rolling. Let's get WandaVision out. Let's get Falcon. Let's get these movies out, Black Widow. And I guess the word I would be used is, are some people marveled out? So, Rob, are you marveled out? I mean...
Well, I wouldn't say Marvel specifically. I mean, I always love Marvel just like Star Wars. So I think it's more so superhero genre out.
Okay. But we're talking about specifically Phase 4. What is it about this that you feel is either not working or it's tiresome?
Well, here's the thing. I don't think Phase 4 is very focused, right? When you brought up, the multiverse saga, I actually had to look it up 30 minutes before we got here to find out that, oh, it is the multiverse saga. I never got that. Whereas when we go back to the original Iron Man,
You didn't know it was called the Infinity Saga in Phase 1.
No, but
they didn't even know it was called that.
You had a clear focus because all it took was one line from Nick Fury. Have you heard of the Avengers Initiative or the Avengers Initiative, right? And then you knew, oh, we're going somewhere. And that was the first film. First film, Black Widow. What did it kick off?
I don't remember that film.
What was the end credit though?
Oh, I forgot.
The end credit for Black Widow was Elaine showing up. The Countess,
Madam Hydra.
Yeah, Countess de Fontaine. Her showing up with Yelena.
Yeah. Julia Richard Dreyfus.
Louis Dreyfus.
Richard Dreyfus, someone else. Sorry.
You guys are real Seinfeld.
That's setting up Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts there. Yeah, anyway, I mean, I have some prepared thoughts, but I'll let you.
Okay. So for me,
so you just
it's just
it didn't seem to be going
focused.
anywhere.
The end goal is not clear to me, and I just don't see the point of really continuing, right? So
yeah, they're really, for me, I think focus is a big issue. They're just throwing everything and seeing what sticks. The genres have been mixed up, which I'm not against, but sometimes they're really throwing a lot there. I've really stopped watching. Since I watched the first one episode of Miss Marvel, I pretty much stopped. I didn't like Moon Knight. I liked WandaVision. That was pretty much it. And the new movies, maybe Spider-Man is the only one I kind of enjoyed. Doctor Strange 2 was okay, but...
Shang-Chi?
No, definitely not Shang-Chi.
Oh, really?
No, I wasn't a fan of that.
Okay.
I mean, I just don't feel like, again, with Rob, the excitement is there when you watched Phase 1, 2, 3. You really felt it was going somewhere. Obviously, Endgame, you're not going to ever be able to beat that.
Yeah.
That kind of build-up. I don't know. Something about it is not clicking for me. I'd rather watch Daredevil, which is obviously a Marvel show, but the way they executed that and something about it just feels a little bit plasticky.
Well, they're coming out with Daredevil again.
Right, but this new Phase 4, a lot of it feels very plasticky. It doesn't feel like they're taking the risks that I feel they should take. Thor, Love and Thunder, to me, was a perfect example of, hey, we've made it. Let's just make jokes and have a kind of half-baked script and see Chris, naked. I mean, people, oh, wow, that's amazing. And some of the jokes landed, but I really didn't think it was a good movie. It just was kind of lazy to me. So that's what I'm talking about for me personally. I'm a little bit more on Rob's side on this, but I know, Alvin, you're on the other side.
Yes.
So
Convince us.
Yeah, convince Rob and me.
So I think Marvel is evolving sort of because it has to. I think the market, the audience to that is consuming Marvel movies has grown so much since the first one has begun. I mean, you have to try to remember back in the landscape of when Phase 1 entered, we had like the odd good superhero movie, and then we had a bunch of really bad ones, right?
Yeah, mostly bad.
Mostly bad, right? For every X2 that you got an X3, right? For every, Spider-Man 2 you got, Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 3 was also pretty rough as well.
That was quite rough too. So, but I mean, it was unheard of that, there can be, now the audience is building because every movie is actually really, really high quality. So I feel that in Phase 4, after the height of Endgame, after building up to something, they had to do something different. They had to evolve their kind of business strategy a little bit in terms of how the content is distributed and what content is made. And so I have 3 points, and I wanted to alliterate them. I wanted to alliterate them for your sake, like the master. And so maybe you can find an alliteration here, right? So, but the first is it's good storytelling what they're doing here. Like just overall, Phase 4, in terms of just overall pacing, right? If they ended Endgame and then, the X-Men is now here, Fantastic Four is here, Doctor Doom is here, like you need that up and down in terms of pacing, right? So Phase 4, I think, is deliberately meant to be quieter, more intimate, less kind of bombastic.
So in other words, not good.
No. No.
Yeah, low point.
Oh, okay.
No, right.
I
do a graph.
Smaller, and it's meant to be kind of more focused on
bad characters? Crappy characters?
You people. It's introducing new characters, but it leads into my second point, which is, I think, creatively. So storytelling, in terms of just pacing, if you look at the phases in general, right, it has to build up and then come down, build up and come down, even with Phase 1 and Phase 2 and Phase 3, right? But I think creatively, they're looking at different things now. I think Phase 4 has been dealing with a lot of, like, mental health issues. Right, you have people dealing with grief. You have people dealing with loss of loved ones. You have people dealing with PTSD. You have people like bad parenting is a major theme in all superhero movies. But Shang-Chi, so I guess doesn't break that many grounds. But even I thought Shang-Chi was Wenwu was a very interesting villain because, again, he's not doing it because he's nefariously trying to take over the world. He's doing it because he's delusional and he loves his dead wife and he wants to rescue her. The third act for that movie was not great, but everything before that was good. But they're choosing to pivot to kind of focus on more intimate moments, to show us mental health issues, to show us different cultural issues and different things like that.
Are they going to bring all these F-level characters to the movies?
Yes. Well, and that is my third point. So we had it made sense creatively. It made sense from storytelling. It made sense creatively. And the third one, it just makes sense from a business perspective. So I read a take once that was talking about how Marvel Phase 4 is really pivoting to very similar to their comic strategy. Marvel Comics, I mean, there's so many different runs of different, even within the same team, you have, like, especially, I mean, in the 90s, when the X-Men heydays, you had Astonishing X-Men, X-Force, Excalibur, and
the red and blue team.
Yeah, gold and blue teams.
Gold and blue. Yeah, we want to be on blue. Gold is garbage.
But like it's kind of switched to that model where they're putting stuff out and they're targeting kind of different people. And like it'll either work for you or it won't. And I think their model now is they don't expect you to watch everything because there's so much stuff. Realistically, the average person can't watch all this stuff. So I think they want people to focus on stuff that interests them, and then it all ties back into these, and then now you'll have these crossover movies and these big events that build up where it's like, oh, I didn't know about this character because you think that they're F-tier characters.
Moon Knight.
The poor man's Batman.
Not even. He's like a mummy or something.
But even that, I mean, Moon Knight, another good example of like they're dealing with multiple personalities and dissociative disorder and just kind of perception of reality. Like it's not about defeating. I mean, again, final episode of that wasn't great in terms of they defeated some big CGI fight again, but an exploration of perception of reality, and that's kind of interesting. And they're taking a beat to kind of do this, and the model changed towards this. You can watch what you like, and please stop watching stuff you don't like, Rob. And then, when the movies come back, because there will be big movies, it will eventually build up. Maybe you'll care less about Kang, and maybe the entire multiverse saga won't be as good as Infinity Saga, but maybe by the third one, when they're doing, the Galactus Saga or whatever it is, maybe you'll be more interested then. And I think they're okay with that. I don't think they expect you to watch
But, Rob, before you rebut on this, I think you're talking about just quantity, just putting out stuff. But I think what we're trying to argue is where's the quality? Like Falcon and Winter Soldier, it just wasn't there. Like the premise, I thought, oh, that's gonna be cool. They tried to do a buddy thing, it didn't really work.
Yeah,
the whole thing it wasn't very good. So where's the quality?
But I'm not arguing that Phase 4 quality is as good as the other phases. I for sure not. I mean, again, I can barely remember any scene in Falcon and Winter Soldier aside from U.S. Agent, killing the guy with the shield, right? And that's cool. That's a cool, good icon. But so I do think that there were some bad things, and I think probably the worst project that Marvel has put out, aside from Inhumans, is unfortunately Eternals, which, I mean, that was just not a good movie.
Directed by Oscar winner
Chloe Zhao. But even as a Marvel fan, I thought that okay, that's not for me. Maybe some people enjoyed it, but that wasn't a great movie. So I'm not arguing that it's all good.
Is Kevin Feige, has he lost control or?
No, again, I think this is the correct business decision. I think She-Hulk is out there, and maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's for a certain demographic and a certain segment of the audience that really enjoys it. The fan audience, the Rotten Tomatoes on that, the audience is actually quite high, right? I think.
Same with Black Adam.
Also good, right? And so I really enjoy. I know you didn't like Ms. Marvel, but I enjoyed Ms. Marvel. But I enjoyed it. Like I identified more with the parents of Ms. Marvel and it's like of having young children. And
what do you have to say to all these egregious claims?
While you do that, think about an alliteration for story, story, creativity, and business.
Yes,
okay. Those are my 3 points.
Let's relate it to food. Here's an amazing sandwich, but this sandwich is going to be discontinued, and we're just going to give you an okay sandwich. Now, here, please eat. I don't know. I mean, remember.
But would you eat a really good sandwich, and then here's another really good sandwich, and then here's another? No, you need the idea of a palate cleanser, right? Sorry, continue.
So ultimately, Phase 4 is diminishing returns then at this point because we have so much of it.
I think again purposely it's focusing on smaller stories.
Right. So and this is where I have an issue, right? It's like you said it's a little bit for everybody.
Yeah.
Now the thing is that when you do a little bit for everybody, ultimately it becomes bland. Like what they're trying to do is they're trying a bunch of things, hearing from different groups, trying to hit all these different people, and ultimately when you put everything into a dish, you get something bland, right? It doesn't have that special ingredient, that secret sauce. You know what I mean? So, but again, hey, like you said, it's they're trying to calm things down. We had really high, but here's something to let everyone regroup. And they say that you don't need to watch all the Phase 4. Technically, you can watch one particular product and still know what's kind of going on,
Yeah.
right? Sort of
The
like
prime example of that is
WandaVision and Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, yeah.
So, but still, I mean, like, as a fan, I want to watch everything, right? But then if you're gonna, say that, oh, don't watch this.
No, don't watch this if you don't like it. Don't watch this if you don't like
which
it.
I think is very bad marketing. Don't watch it because,
What do you mean?
you don't like it.
We're putting stuff out. There are people that like it, and if you don't watch it. I mean, again...
Can't you argue that for phase 1 to 3, too? There are movies that we didn't love, Dark World, and there was movies that you're like, this is amazing. So, but we're saying that they all kind of were cohesive.
No, I feel in phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3, all of it was very broad. All of the target audience was all just fairly broad superhero, right? Now they're focusing into, okay, legal comedy, you have an issue with that word, legal comedy sitcom. You have a Muslim, American, Pakistani background superhero in that perspective. You have, and you have the Egyptian kind of, like, it's just different perspectives. And I feel that they're being a lot more narrow of it, maybe partly to show more representation as well. I think that's definitely one of their goals. But if it doesn't work for you, I think that's fine. I don't think they're... I don't know. I don't think they're... Yeah.
Well, in the end, if it makes them money,
which is my third point. It will, and it does.
Well, I'll tell you, Phase 4 did not make as much as Phase 1, 2, or 3.
Total or average? Because I'm pretty sure total it would be more. Because because of pure content, there's more.
No, but how could it beat a 2.4 billion?
Yeah. Phase 3 is
on Endgame?
I mean, if you take No Way Home, is it? No, it's it's No Way Home, the latest one.
Yeah.
Out of it, I mean, the rest.
Why would you take it out of it?
Because it's by Sony.
No, it's not. It's by Marvel.
In association with Sony.
It's made by Marvel. The movie that's their agreement that Marvel makes these Spider-Man movies.
Okay. So, all right. So, but here's the thing. Okay, you're introducing all these characters that is like, yeah, whatever. There's a reason why there were like all these Batman films. There's a reason why we have all these Superman films. And it's because, we grew up, like the average comic book person, there's a particular character that they want to follow through. I mean, some of these characters have been here for about 100 years. So to introduce new characters and say, no, like these ones, it's like, no, like fans, like Optimus Prime. There's a reason why Optimus Prime is still alive today.
But it's not, okay, so I have 2 points to that. It's not like these ones. It's here are other ones. We still have, like, Phase 4 had Spider-Man, had Doctor Strange, and upcoming your Black Panther. Like, these are characters from older phases. They have additional things on top of the stuff that you like. And the other point of that is Marvel is doing something so unique with their cinematic universe. This is the first cinematic universe. Unless you're going to James Bond this thing and have somebody else play Iron Man and reboot it somehow in the same universe, this is all one universe. This has never happened before, right? We have multiple Superman movies because they're just all new. They're resetting it every time.
Why aren't they using
we have different Batman movies
property like Fantastic Four?
They are. They just got the rights to that and they're developing it.
I mean, they're really scrubbing the bottom here with Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, and all these other scrub characters.
Ms. Marvel is a very popular character. She's actually, I think, probably one of the newest characters, superheroes introduced. And
I just think they should have taken a big long break after COVID as a perfect excuse,
right?
And then X-Men, right? Wolverine shows up at the very end of Doctor Strange 2, claws and all, and he says,
yeah.
"I agree with you in terms of like fan excitement.
Yeah,
that's a good way to do it." But that makes no sense in terms of a business perspective. That makes no sense. They were very lucky to have been preparing for Disney Plus before COVID actually hit, so they have all this stuff for Disney Plus when people couldn't go into theaters. Why would they take a break when, fine, they might be making less money per film than Phase 1, 2, or 3, let's say. Possible. But altogether, Phase 4, I'm guessing, has still, if I had to pull out a random number, just on their films, probably $3 billion.
Okay.
You take
Spider-Man made like $800 million.
You take out
Doctor
Spider-Man.
Strange made like $400 or $500.
You take out Spider-Man.
But why would you? Why would you take out Spider-Man? That's like saying, take out Endgame, and Phase 3 is what's Phase 3?
It's still Infinity War, which is a lot of money,
Right.
So why would you take out Spider-Man?
Because Spider-Man's considered an outlier.
Okay, how much money did Doctor Strange make?
700 million.
Okay, how much money did Thor make?
700.
700 million.
Okay, so just those two films is $1.5 billion. You're saying they shouldn't?
I'm okay with those two films. Just get rid of Miss Marvel.
No,
and
again,
all that stuff.
all of their Disney Plus shows have their subscriber count on Disney Plus is way higher than
Disney
Amazon
Plus,
Prime.
but Disney Plus is producing a lot of nonsense. Like, it's not as good as HBO Max.
What you need to look at is merchandise sale, right? Now,
He's a big toy guy.
I've been to a lot of Walmarts and Toys R Us's.
Yeah, where's your She-Hulk toy?
Look, man, this is a gift, okay?
Okay. And all I can tell you is that a lot of these, F-tier characters, they're sitting on shelves. And you know what's selling? Iron Man, Spider-Man,
Yep.
Captain America.
Yeah, but
Wolverine.
But was Korg
X-Men.
selling from Thor 3?
No.
But that's what I mean. Like, I agree with you that the
like
focus is now on. But that's again a business decision.
I'd rather watch a Korg show than Moon Knight.
No, but Korg show is Thor: Love and Thunder. That is the Taika Waititi show. He is Korg.
I know, but I'm saying that Phase 4 to me is like, oh, Korg was kind of funny. Let's give him a show.
No, again, I feel that each of their projects is focusing on something. And actually, I think part of it, if you watch some of these behind the scenes stuff and kind of the making of documentaries of the different shows, a lot of it is actually being very faithful to a lot of the comic runs. And some of these characters are actually very old. Like She-Hulk came out just slightly after Hulk, but primarily for copyright reasons, and they didn't want DC to create a She-Hulk type character. But they a lot of it is directly lifted from famous and well-loved comic runs. Even Moon Knight, as confusing and unmemorable as it was taken from a lot of the Moon Knight runs that were very popular in different
using a
issues.
food reference, I would say Phase 1 to 3 would be like a Michelin star restaurant. It's like Yatsu downtown where you're paying omakase sushi, right? Grade sushi. And Phase 4 is like Richmond Court. Okay, so
which is still always good for a late night kind of
where you
craving.
Look at the menu, it's got sushi, it's got bubble tea, it's got dim sum, it's got noodles, it's got rice, and it's like
a little bit of everything.
Pick one. It's not gonna be great, might give you the runs, but it's okay. Just eat it, okay? That's what I see it as.
I will not sit here letting you disparage Richmond Court. I love Richmond Court.
I know, but I would rather eat Yatsu or Peter Luger's over Burger King, okay? So
but you can't have that every day. Okay.
I could.
Okay, the point is, this is a convince me segment. All I remember you saying is, we went from here to here, and you should be convinced.
But I mean, Kevin Feige a lot of money, so you can be.
Look at a movie. Look at a movie like Star Wars: A New Hope, right? If you look at the pacing of it, right, it starts off with the massive chase, and then and it goes down to talking, and then now you're introduced to Luke, and it's quiet, and now there's a big fight, and then quiet.
That's a weak argument.
This is a standard.
You cannot compare one movie to entire series.
But this is standard storytelling that there needs to be ups and downs, and
I'm okay with
fine,
down, but the down moments in Star Wars it's still part of a good story. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's a weird comparison to me. But I mean, I just think, fine, business-wise, I don't even know if we can argue that because Phase 1 to 3 made a ton of merchandise and money. And in terms of storytelling, I still think, they're broadening it. But I think 1 to 3 had a lot of different types of stories, too.
Like, if Phase 4 had just the same heroes telling the same stories, it would be just Thor: Love and Thunder. Like, it's just... We've seen it all before. It would be Black Adam again. Like, this is... We need new and different stories. You have seen how many superhero origin movies now that kind of have the same beats of, and they have to discover and overcome, and now they face the villain that's kind of their opposite. Like, we've seen it.
But isn't that like Moon Knight? Isn't that like...
but it's not.
He's got an origin story. He fights some mysterious creature.
But his thing isn't about kind of him coming to terms with his power. Like, his main thing is like his dissociative disorder type of thing, his split personality type thing, right? Like, WandaVision is not
Two-Face?
Sorry?
Like Two-Face?
Uh,
Much more interesting character than Moon Knight. I'm very
Yes,
unconvinced.
WandaVision was dealing with grief.
right, but
I'm okay with WandaVision. That was my high, and then it sunk for me.
And then Loki was what was Loki about?
Exactly. I don't know. It was like
It was
introducing
Kang.
It's
Kang.
introduced. I mean, that's the official kickoff of the multiverse saga.
Okay,
which
but
is
then fine.
was a
Then
confusing one.
Stick with the Kang as the baddie and build him up.
Yeah.
I know, but
it's
how
like-
much Thanos was in Phase 1? How much Thanos was in Phase 1?
just
How
knew-
many Infinity Gauntlets were in?
I
How
just
many
knew-
Infinity
but
Stones were in
then-
Phase 1?
No. The whole purpose, the way Phase 1 to 3 worked is, Phase 1 was bringing the Avengers together. Phase 2 was, discovering the stones. And then Phase 3 was, here comes Thanos. That's how I see the whole that whole section. Phase 4
Is introducing a bunch of new characters, just like it was in Phase 1.
I don't know.
Then they should have did.
You just don't care about
No,
these
they should have
characters.
just did X-Men Origins.
Yeah, I'd
Again.
rather do X-Men.
I think if they had, even if they had bought Fox earlier and they had the rights to X-Men earlier, I'm not sure they would have introduced them right at Phase 4.
But then you could introduce one or two characters, scrub characters like Storm and Cyclops.
I mean,
And then Wolverine comes in Phase 5. Whatever.
Storm and Cyclops are not scrub characters. They're literally the two leaders of the X-Men.
But no one cares.
Which
about
is more
Storm.
interesting than all the other characters that they've introduced
Oh
so
my
far.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
So your arguments about money, I don't
Okay,
know.
yeah.
Storytelling, fine, but I just think you could execute a more quality story. I don't know. There's
I'm just saying that-
I'm saying there's no consistency.
Yeah, because I think I sort of agree with you, and that's kind of your point, that there's no kind of through thread, kind of cohesive thing pulling it all together. But I think they're exploring different aspects of what makes a superhero, or what kind of like different aspects of
Okay.
superhero. And so I think it's not let's gather a whole team together, even though they are planting seeds for all of that. They're planting seeds for the young Avengers, which definitely now will show up.
But that's what I'm saying. Why have so many teams? Like, am I looking forward
because
to
they can make money.
Phase 6, where I'm really looking forward to Moon Knight showing up with Miss Marvel to fight Galactus? Not really. Like, I just was like, get rid of those scrubs and put in the X-Men to fight Magneto. That's whatever it is.
You'll get that. The X-Men will
and-
be there, and
You know, I will say to your point, I will agree that yes, Marvel Studios needs time to build up the X-Men because they want to do
Sure,
it right.
sure, fine.
Because so far Fox has had some hits
And some real dig.
and then you have Age of Apocalypse and Dark
Phoenix, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So yes, I will say, but then in the end, they're pushing out so much stuff. Again, number one is pretty much I think to capitalize on the Avengers high, just continue to make money. Okay, bringing new characters, fine. Hey, let's see what works. But in the end, for Phase 4, convince me. You know what?
I think there is a lot of that. See what works, and I don't know how integrated the Eternals will be in going forward. You know what I mean? So I think there is a little bit of that. Like they're introducing and seeing kind of what people have interest in, because I mean you have to remember back. It's difficult to remember a time when Captain America and Iron Man weren't huge. Like the biggest Marvel characters were Spider-Man, Hulk, and the X-Men, and they sold all those rights. And so they had to build Phase 1 with, at that time, pretty C-list characters.
Right, but they did such a good job that now he's the number one merchandise seller.
He is.
Right, and it's synonymous with
And-
Marvel.
But I think, I think it's different. Like, we as an audience now have grown attached to these characters, but there could be a new, like they are targeting a different audience to get attached to these characters.
No one is going to dress up as Moon Knight for Halloween.
They definitely are. There are definitely people that are dressing up as Moon Knight and Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk. There are. Just because you don't know them, they're there. The market is clearly there.
Okay, whatever. I'm just saying that the storytelling, I think I can see they're trying to expand their storytelling,
Yeah.
but I'm saying the quality of the stories, the characters, they're just not that. It's not that good.
compelling or
It's not really compelling.
I think a little bit of that is basically you're old men and set in your ways, and you want what you have.
No. I just think
Because this is new characters, and they're telling new stories, and you're just not connecting with new characters because you want more of the old characters.
no, I don't want the old characters, but can we not pick Moon Knight. I just hate Moon Knight. Okay, can we pick like, heck, do a story about Kitty Pryde? I don't care, but just not Moon Knight.
They're gonna come. I mean, again, the X-Men. Yeah, you're right. Probably, maybe if they had it earlier, they not Storm and Cyclops, but they could have taken more D-list X-Men because there are a lot. There's a crazy amount of X-Men to kind of and they. So I mean, they didn't do it, but Deadpool did, right?
Yeah.
Deadpool did. They had Colossus, and then they had
Domino
and
Cable.
and Negasonic Super Saiyan. I don't remember her name. And Cable and yeah. And so I think if Marvel had that, maybe they would have done that. But again, it's not going to be. So here's X-Men and here's things.
So yeah, you convinced me. Wait till the X-Men.
But yeah, please do wait for the X-Men if that's what you're excited for. But that's my point. There are people, difficult as you may find to believe, who are excited, as well you for hard to believe, for She-Hulk. And
I haven't watched it.
No, She-Hulk is a popular character. I will say
Ms. Marvel is a super popular character. Ms. Marvel is a super popular character. It just, I mean, she was a very groundbreaking character because she was the first Muslim Pakistani superhero, and again, it's a representation type of thing, right? It's when we see Shang-Chi, it's like, oh, okay, they're kind of screwing up Chinese culture a little bit, but at least it's kind of cool seeing an Asian guy, right?
We all ride dragons, and
I mean, yeah, I rode my dragon here to film this,
and we're very good in school.
So, but I think there's a little bit for Ms. Marvel too. I'm sure for actual Pakistani or actual Muslim.
I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying that whatever this, I just don't feel the story it's not that compelling to me. It's a little bit unfocused, and I just rather they take it a little bit more of a break and focus on, like, why don't they do shows where it's like some of the X-Men characters and they come together for a movie or something, or even Fantastic Four characters, something like that.
You had a Fantastic Four character. You had Mr. Fantastic, Krasinski, which you pronounce as Kaczynski.
Okay, yeah, but he's...
isn't that exactly what you're talking about? Peppering these things in just to kind of keep people interested. Like that...
Yeah, that's okay. I wouldn't say the movies to me are that egregious.
Egregious,
the story, the shows, I not liked.
I think Eternals was egregious. And even as a big Thor fan, I thought Thor Love and Thunder was kind of a little like, okay, Taika Waititi, just kind of do whatever.
That's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. It's almost like, I feel like Kevin Feige is saying, okay, just do whatever. I mean, to me, that's not that compelling.
But for that character, I feel. But I don't think that's the case for Moon Knight and for Ms. Marvel and for She-Hulk.
I guess the attention to detail is something I'm not seeing in these series. Whereas I'm pretty sure 1 to 3... they had they were out to prove something. They were out to do so every little bit, whether it was like telegraphing this story or adding a little subplot or whatever, they were making sure that it was all going in one direction and it was very focused. Now it's like your whole convince me is see what sticks. To me, it's like that's not a good strategy.
It's not as well. I mean, it's just like comics. I mean, I didn't collect comics too much as a kid. Did you collect them?
Not too many.
But again, even I think
there's a lot of bad comics.
Series.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's a business model that's worked for them for like 70 years now, like or however many long years. And so I think that's kind of what they're pivoting to because I think they realize cynically that they can make more money this way rather than put out. I mean, we used to get two Marvel movies a year. Now we get like 4 Marvel movies and like 5 TV shows and like a couple of specials, and it's a little bit different, I think. And so I can understand if people feel that they're inundated a little bit too much and it's just too much, and I'm not. But I think that's okay for them. I think they ultimately still make enough money, and I think they're telling interesting stories for different people.
I mean, all this is to say that Top Gun Maverick was the best movie this year. Okay. Because it was focused, it had attention to detail, and it has quality, okay? FAQ, okay? So, anyways, I don't know, any final thoughts before, Rob, I guess you're not convinced.
Definitely not convinced.
again, when you're telling me that this is what Marvel needs to do, like at the bottom of the roller coaster, then yeah, that to me, there's really no point in me continuing. And we've already seen the lineup for Phase 5, so I think after Wakanda Forever, I'm probably just gonna.
What's in Phase 5? Phase 5, there is Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which I'm sure I will watch because I like Paul Rudd.
You have Guardians 3.
Guardians 3, which Guardians 2 I did not like kind of very much. Guardians 1 was obviously very groundbreaking.
Okay.
You have the Marvels.
The Marvels, okay.
You have Captain America: New World Order.
Okay, that could be good.
Thunderbolts.
I mean, Captain America. Sorry, let's just stop on Captain America. Captain America's had a very good history of telling very good stories.
Well, we have
a new Captain America.
Yeah,
now,
New World Order. I don't know, whatever.
But it's not by the Russo brothers.
Yes, no, I know.
It's
yeah.
by
Who's it by? Anybody?
I don't know who these people are.
Okay. Okay, and then we have Thunderbolts, and then we have Blade.
Ooh.
I recently watched.
It's on
Wesley
Netflix
Snipes?
again.
Yeah, Wesley
that's
Snipes
a good
Blade.
movie.
Wow, that
Okay,
was-
convince me, Blade.
Yeah.
But would you watch Mahershala Ali as Blade?
Man, Wesley Snipes got to make a cameo.
Yeah,
He's got to make a cameo.
If Wesley Snipes is in it, I will watch it.
Yeah, that's a good movie. That's
Wesley Snipes cameoed as Blade, essentially, in the show that I've been telling you guys to watch, What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay.
It's a vampire
Yeah.
mockumentary series. At the end of the first one, all the kind of TV movie vampires kind of show up in like a council of vampires.
Okay.
Anyway.
And then here are the TV series that are coming out.
Yep.
You have What If again.
I enjoyed What If
What
a
If
lot.
pretty good.
So you'll watch that.
I'll watch What If.
But that's my point. You're gonna watch kind of bits and pieces.
Secret Invasion with Nick Fury. I think that one is probably going to be interesting.
Yes.
Right. Echo.
I don't even know what Echo is.
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. Loki.
Loki season 2. Is what's his face going to be in it? Owen Wilson. I thought he was very good in that.
Yeah, he signed on.
I would watch that for that.
Ironheart.
Ironheart. Yeah.
I mean, I love Iron Man, so
Yep.
I'll give
What's
Ironheart.
Ironheart? Is he the Care Bear? Or what?
She will be
in Wakanda Forever. She's like a genius who basically like reverse engineers the
How
Iron
many
Man suit.
geniuses are there in the Marvel universe?
A lot.
Yeah.
Too many. Everybody's a genius.
But I mean, that's what it is in the comics. Hank Pym is a genius. Mr. Fantastic is a genius. Iron Man's a genius.
Yes.
Hulk is a genius. All the Hulks are geniuses.
Bruce Wayne's
Braun
a
is
Doctor Doom is also a genius.
Yeah,
too.
Victor.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
And then you have Agatha.
Coven of Chaos.
And then Daredevil.
I mean, I really like Catherine Hahn as an actress. I think she's very funny.
I don't know how that is even being made. I mean, Daredevil and Blade were the ones that kind of stuck out to me. I like.
But this is what they. This is what they want. You can just watch kind of. Oh, I'll watch this and I'll watch this, right? And then they're building up to whatever the Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty. You'll watch those.
I think
You're gonna watch the Avengers movies.
I think the bottom line is 1 to 3 was such a out of this world experience with 10 years of building something up. You're never gonna get that high of Endgame. So I understand what they're doing. I think it's just generally as an audience member, you're marveled out a little bit. You're just
I can see that.
Most of the
Like if they tried to recreate that, it would be so much worse. If they tried to recreate, we're gonna redo Phase 1 to 3 again. Like they have to do something different.
Okay, bottom line is I'm going to be taking a break.
But you're not. You're going to be watching bits and pieces, which is what you're doing now, right? I don't know.
Okay.
No, he watched all.
Oh, you watched all of Phase 4.
I watched all the Phase
4. All of Phase 4. You see, I don't know why you do that when certain shows are just
and so that I can make the how do you say
an
judgment,
informed,
and decision,
a fair decision.
Just step back, similar to Star Wars. I watched first 3 episodes of Andor and I stopped.
Good for you, Rob.
Right.
Good.
I think
I didn't even watch
I
that
think
episode of that.
I think Marvel should take a page out of Star Wars. Like the last movie came out in 2013 and then they just stopped.
The last movie came out in 2013.
Sorry, 2019.
Okay.
2019. Sorry, 2019.
I guess Rob is
long rambling,
unconvinced, and so let us know what you think. Were you convinced that Marvel Phase 4 is good, bad, ugly? Are you going to watch it? Are you not going to watch it? Have you given up? Or are you still a big Marvel fanboy or fangirl? Let us know in the comments below. We love doing these Convince Me segments because we have a lot of fun doing them. I hope you have fun enjoying watching them. So until next time, keep watching things. Keep getting inspired by Marvel.
And like and subscribe to our little channel. And yeah, keep watching Phase 4 and 5.